welcome to April's Masterclass. Today we are going to talk about something called two-way new minor forcing and XYZ. Two-way new minor forcing, very long name, has several names. Some people call it checkback, and some countries we call it XY no trump. There's a lot of different names. There's also a few different variants of it, but here today I'm going to try and be consistent and call it two-way new minor forcing, and I will explain how it works. This is a bit of a complicated convention because this is a convention where we learn some new bits. You can look through the video and see if this is something for you, but maybe it might be too complicated, but then at least you'll know a little bit about it so that when your opponents play this convention you will not be very surprised. And it's important that your partner also knows this, because this is not something that's standard to play, it is common, but you shouldn't just assume that your partner played this, so make sure if you bid this that it's because your partner also knows the bits. So there's a lot of reasons of why we want to use two-way new minor forcing. So two-way new minor forcing means that we can make both an invitational bid and a game forcing bid on 2 level. That makes it it's very neat because we don't have to worry about partner passing our bids below game. So sometimes we don't really want to just jump to a game straight away, because maybe we don't know which suit we want to play, or if we want to play no trumps, and sometimes we might also be interested in slam. So we don't want to just jump to game, or jump to slam, or jump to 4-no asking for aces, for example. We want to take it slow and figure out a bit more about what partner's cards are. We can't really do that unless we are able to make a forcing bid. Because if we make a bid that shows a weak hand, it's very risky because our partner might pass and we would have liked to be higher. Another thing that's neat about two-way new minor forcing is that it makes it easier to make an invite, and we can make this invite on a lower level. So instead of jumping to the 3 level to make the invite, we can now stop on the 2 level. Maybe partner has really bad cards and we're only making 8 tricks. And another thing is that it makes it easier to find the 5-3 fit in major. Because we have more room, we can make forcing bids, we don't have to just jump to a game. And also the fact that we can show bid the suit several times makes it easier to differentiate between 5 and 6 card suits. And the fact that we have more room makes it easier to find a minor fit. So now we're going to look a bit on how this actually works. So two-way new minor forcing means that we have bid a suit, or our partner has bid a suit, we have bid a suit, and then partner has bid 1 no trump. That can be any suit, but for example it can be partner opens a club, we bid a heart, and partner bids 1 no trump. But it doesn't have to be those suits, it can be any suit. Then 2 clubs is an artificial bid. So it does not say anything about the clubs, and it is either an invitational hand with any type of hand, or a weak hand with diamonds. And over 2 clubs, partner must bid 2 diamonds. There is nothing to think about. Here, partner must bid 2 diamonds. And that's because we can have the weak hands with diamonds. And if we do have the weak hand with diamonds, we will just pass 2 diamonds. However, if we have an invite, we're now going to keep bidding, and we will bid our suit or our second suit to show that we have that suit. So 2 clubs does not say anything about the clubs, it's just an artificial bid, forcing partner to bid 2 diamonds so that we can show our hand later if we are stronger. instead of bidding 2 clubs, if we bid 2 diamonds, that's also an artificial bid, does not say anything about the diamonds, but this is a game forcing bid. So when we bid 2 diamonds, neither we nor partner are allowed to pass until we are in at least a game. Maybe we even want to go to slam. So 2 diamonds does not say anything about the diamonds, it's just a strong hand. And then if we bid 2 majors, so we bid 2 hearts or 2 spades, that's usually just to play, because if we have a stronger hand, we will go through 2 clubs or 2 diamonds. And we remember the weak hands with diamonds bid 2 clubs, forcing partner to bid 2 diamonds. But we do still have a weak hand with clubs that we need to be able to bid. And there's 2 options for that. Some people decide to just jump to 3 clubs to show the weak hand with clubs. And some people bid 2 no as a relay to 3 clubs and a weak hand with clubs. That's something you have to decide with your partner, which one you want to choose. Now, if we decide to jump to the 3 level instead, you can use that as different things. One thing that I suggest is that you play it as an unbalanced invite. So maybe we have a 5-5 if we jump to a new suit, or we have a very long suit if we jump to our own suit, but maybe our hand is not so strong. We just really want to play our own suit. What we have to remember is that after this bidding, we don't have a 4th suit forcing. So bidding here is a bit more difficult because we don't have as many bids that are forcing. So it's very practical to use this since we don't have the option of 4 suits forcing. So we are going to look at an example. Our partner opened 1 diamond. We have 10 high card points, 5 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, and 1 club. So we start by bidding our longest suit, and we bid 1 spade. Now partner bids 1 no. So what are we gonna do now? Well, partner has 12 to 14, or 11 to 14, and we have 10, so it might be a bit aggressive to be in game. However, if we do have a fit, we also have a short club, so that can help us give extra tricks. And the fact that we do have a little bit support in diamonds as well. Partner often has at least 4 diamonds. So here it might be a bit aggressive, but it's very tempting to make an invitational bid. And since we want to make the invitational bid, we will do that by bidding 2 clubs. And then over 2 clubs, our partner can bid 2 diamonds, and now our partner must bid 2 diamonds. And now we bid 2 hearts to show our hand. Since we started by bidding spades and come back with hearts, we must have at least 5 spades and 4 hearts. So that shows our hand quite well. Here we have a bit of a different hand. We have 7 high card points, and we have support for partner who opened 1 diamond, but we would like to check if we have the support in spades as well, because we would rather play major than minor if we can choose. So here we're going to start by bidding 1 spade, and then bidding over partners 1 no. We have to decide what to do. We could pass 1 no, but it's looking likely that it's better to play diamonds because we have 2 doubletons that we might want to ref a couple of cards. So here it's probably better for us to play a diamond contract. And since partner has open diamonds, we will go for that. And we remember that if we bid 2 diamonds, that's an artificial bid and it forces to game. And that's obviously not what we want to do because we only have 7 high card points. So here we have to remember to bid 2 clubs, which is forcing partner to bid 2 diamonds, and then we can just pass 2 diamonds. So here we will bid 2 clubs. Then we have another option, which is mostly referred to XYZ. And it's a very similar bid to two-way new minor forcing, but the difference is that we have only bid a suit on the one level. So, for example, our partner opens a diamond, we bid a heart, partner bids a spade. But we also have a couple of options with partner opening a club, so one club, one heart, one spade. And we bid pretty much the same way here as we do over two-way new minor forcing. So 2 clubs is an artificial invite or a weak hand with diamonds. However, here there is a small difference, and that is that partner will bid 2 diamonds with 11 to 16 high card points, but we have to bid something else if we have a stronger hand. So if we have at least 17 high card points, we have to bid something else. And that's the difference here is that when partner bids 1 no, partner is already limited, but after 1 spade, partner is not as limited, so we have to bid something else with those strong hands. And that's just because partner will, just like we saw in the last example, partner will pass 2 diamonds with a relatively weak hand, a hand that's not strong enough to make an invite. But opposite, for example, a 19 count, a 7 count would like to be in game. So therefore we have to bid something else with 17 plus. And the something else can be pretty much anything, just not 2 diamonds. So what we're going to do then is just describing our hand. So we will bid no trap if we have a balanced hand, and we'll just bid our suits if we have an unbalanced hand. And otherwise it's completely the same as two-way new minor forcing with 2 diamonds, artificial game force, and 2 major as to play. And we have the 2 options of the weak hands with clubs and the unbalanced invites jumping to the 3 level. So here we have an example. Our partner has opened a diamond. We have an 11 count with 5 hearts, and we bid a heart, and our partner bids 1 spade. Now we would like to make an invitational bid showing our 5 hearts. So what we do is we start with the 2 clubs bid, where we are expecting partner to bid 2 diamonds. That will happen most of the time. And if partner does bid 2 diamonds, we can now bid 2 hearts, showing at least 5 hearts and an invitational hand. And partner can decide to pass that, bid 2 no, or 3 no, or something more in hearts. So partner has a couple of options over our 2 heart bid. Here we have 7 counts, so we are a bit weaker, and partner has opened a diamond, we bid a heart, and partner bids a spade. Here we are not strong enough to make an invitational bid, so what we will do is just repeat our hearts on the lowest level and just play it there. So we bid 2 hearts, and unless partner is very strong, partner will now pass. And here we opened a diamond, partner bids a heart, we bid a spade, we have a 17 count, so we have quite a good hand, and then partner bids 2 clubs. We remember that when partner bids 2 clubs, partner is expecting us to bid 2 diamonds, but if we do have at least 17 high card points, we have to bid something else. And here we have 17, so we have to do something other than just bidding 2 diamonds, which partner might pass with, for example, an 8 count, and then we would much rather prefer being in game. So what we do is we show our hand. We have to show what we haven't already shown. And here that is our 3-card heart support. We didn't support hearts the first time, so partner knows that we don't have 4 hearts. So when we bid hearts now instead, we have to show a 3-card heart suit. And since we are not accepting the relay to 2 diamonds, we also show a really strong hand, so there is no point in jumping. We don't have to jump 3 hearts, because 2 hearts is showing the strong hand, since we usually bid 2 diamonds. So we have some ways of bidding after XYZ or two-way new minor forcing. Here I just refer to that as XY no trump, because the set can be either a suit or a no trump. The way of bidding over the two clubs and two diamonds bid are quite natural. So we're going to start by looking at what happens over the two diamond bid. So we open, partner bids a suit, and we bid something, either a suit on the one level or one no trump. And then partner bids two diamonds, artificial game force. Now, our job is just to describe our hand. So what we usually look for is first, we show a 3-card support in partner suit. Second thing we look for is a 4-card side suit. Third thing we look for is extra length in our opening suit, which usually means 5+. Even if we open clubs, for example, with a 3-card suit or a 2-card, we will not bid clubs again just because we have 4. So extra length usually means 5. And the last thing is a balanced hand. So if we have a balanced hand, we will just bid 2 no. And it's important that we only bid 2 no and not 3 no. Even though partner has showed a game forcing hand and we know at some point we're going to end up in game, we want to give partner as much room as possible, because partner might have an unbalanced hand and would like to describe their hand. So we will look at an example here. West opens 1 club, you have a 14 count, and East bids a heart. Now West just bids 1 no, showing a balanced 11 to 14. And what do we do in East? Well, we have a good hand. We have 15 high card points, so here we absolutely want to be in game. But we don't really know which game yet, and that depends. But we do have 4 clubs, so it's likely that partner has some clubs for us, and maybe we want to play club contract, maybe even we want to be in slam. So here we start by bidding 2 diamonds to just establish the game forcing bid. And then we will see how things develop and where we want to end up. So here we might actually end up with quite a long sequence of bidding. So over 2 diamonds, West has to show 3-card support in partner suit. So since West has 3 hearts, that will be the first priority. So West will bid 2 hearts. But that doesn't really help East that much, because East only has 4 hearts and don't really want to play hearts. So East will go back to showing the clubs and bid 3 clubs. That is very good news for West. West has absolutely maximum with the 14 high card points, and we showed 11 to 14. And also 5-card clubs, which we have not told partner about. So that shows a good hand. And partner can now bid 4 clubs, or West can bid 4 clubs, to say that, oh, well, clubs fit me really well. And then it depends a bit on how aggressive East wants to be. But there is an option of just bidding keycards, or asking for keycards by bidding 4 no. And West shows 2 keycards, and they end up in 6 clubs. Maybe you want to be a little bit more careful and just stop in stop in game. But here with the singleton spade and partner showing something, or at least 3 hearts and also a good club suit, it's very tempting to try for a slam. Here is another example. We open a club, partner bids a spade, we bid 1 no trump, and partner bids 2 diamonds, game forcing. So what are we going to do in West now? Well, we do see that we have a 4-card heart suit that we have not told partner about, and since we don't have 3 spades, we can't really bid spades. And we will tell partner about the a 4-card heart suit. So we bid 2 hearts. And then again, a partner might get very eager with this, and partner can now bid 3 hearts, and now we can bid some cubids if we want to, and then asking for aces, and maybe we again will end up in a slam. This is now easier because the 2 diamond bid was game forcing, so we have a lot of room. Ease doesn't have to jump to a game straight away without knowing what suit we want to play. So this did really help us. But we also have a possibility, or we have to talk about how we will bid over the 2 clubs invite bid. So over the 2 club invite bid, we usually bid 2 diamonds as the partner, and then it's the responding hand's job of describing the hand. So with a weak hand with diamonds, we remember that we just pass 2 diamonds so that we can play 2 diamonds. If not, we can repeat our own suit, showing at least 5 cards in that suit, or we can bid a new suit, showing 4 cards in that suit, or we can bid a balanced hand. We can also support partner if partner has bid a suit. But then the number of cards we need in partner suit depends a bit on which suit partner opened. We need fewer cards in major to support than we do in the minors. So let's look at this example. West opened a club, East bid a spade, West bid 1 no, East bids 2 clubs, and West bids 2 diamonds. If East keeps bidding now, that's going to show an invitational hand with whatever East bids. So here East can repeat their spades by bidding 2 spades to show that we have at least 5 spades and an invitational hand. And what ends up happening here is that West is just going to pass, because West has a minimum hand with only 12 high card points, and we can see that we're actually quite happy that we got to play in only 2 spades instead of 3 spades, because we know that we have 1 heart loser, we have 3 diamond losers, and if the club finesse is not working, we actually also have a club loser, and we might only have 8 tricks. Of course, if the club finesse is on, we will have 9, but it's a good thing we don't have to risk that by being in 3 spades. Here we can just be in 2 spades. And then we do have some different ways of bidding. We don't actually have to go through two-way new minor forcing or XYZ. Sometimes we can just bid game directly. And we have 3 ways of bidding a game if we know that we have support. So, for example, after the bidding, as we can see here, 1 club, 1 heart, 1 spade. If East now has 4 spades, we know that we have support already. And we have 3 ways of bidding. We can bid 4 spades directly, or we can start by bidding 2 diamonds, showing a game forcing hand, and then jump to 4 spades. And the last option is starting to bid 2 diamonds, and then partner bids something, and we bid spades on the lowest level. And the general rule is that the longer we take to bid, the stronger we are. So if we just bid game directly, we have enough to play game, but we are not really interested in a slam. We typically have 12 to 14 points, and partner would need to have a very strong hand to keep bidding. If we bid 2 diamonds and then jump to game, we are a little bit stronger. Here we typically have 14 to 16, so we are a bit interested in slam if partner has a little bit extra. And the strongest hand is bidding 2 diamonds and then bidding the spades on the lowest level. And that just means that we are quite strong, and we might even want to play slam opposite at 12-14. And we have to remember that this depends a bit on whether or not partner bid a suit or if partner bids no trump. So if partner bids 1 no, we can jump to game with even stronger hands because we know that partner has at most 14 high card points. So if we are not interested in a slam opposite 12-14, we will always just jump to game. However, if partner bid a suit, partner is much more unlimited. Not completely unlimited, but relatively. And therefore we have to show a bit more if we have a little bit more. So 4 spades will then be the weakest bid, and we don't bid it that often. So if we have a little bit extra, we have to take it a bit slower. But it's very important that this only applies if we know about a fit. So here, for example, it's a bit different. Here, West opens a club, East bids a heart, and West bids a spade. Now, East would really like to play a heart contract if West has 3 hearts, but we would want to play 3 no if West does not have 3 hearts. I can actually see now that we have 14 cards in East. That's a bit unfortunate. I'm sorry about that. But let's just pretend that one of the 3-card suits is a 2-card suit. So here, East has to go through 2 diamonds to figure out if partner has a fit. And when partner bids 2 hearts, now we have 2 options. So instead of having the 3 ways to bid the game, we have 2 ways. Now East can just jump to 4 heart, or East can bid a bit slower and start with 3 hearts. So now the 4 heart bid is typically the one that we bid a game directly with. And the 3 heart bid is merging the 2 other options. So remember that the 3 ways of bidding is only if we know about the support. So another thing that we have to discuss is with XYZ. So this does not go for 2-way new minor forcing, but with XYZ. And XYZ, that means we have bid 3 suits on the 1 level. So that can be 1 club, 1 heart, 1 spade. It can be 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade. 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart. And 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 spade. So there's 4 options. You can see them all on the PowerPoint if it went a bit quickly. And the general rule is that XYZ will overrule 4th suit forcing in all of the situations where it's possible. So in a few situations, they don't really collide, or they don't matter to each other, and there's no overruling. But in the situations where they can both appear, XYZ is the one we choose. And the reason for this is because we can bid both an invitational bid and a game forcing bid with XYZ. Whilst with 4th suit forcing, we only have 1 forcing bid, so we have to choose if this should be invitational plus or if this should be game forcing. And that means sometimes we will end up bidding the 4th suit as for example, the invitational hand, and we have to remember that. And sometimes, but this also applies in other situations, we end up bidding the suit that partner opened. So for example, partner opens a diamond, we bid a heart, partner bids a spade, and we bid 2 diamonds. That's very easy to pass. And I think everyone who has ever played XYZ has ended up passing this bid at some point, or had a partner that's passed it. But it's very important to remember that after this sequence, it's XYZ and it's not a weak hand with diamonds. So the 2 situations that or there's really 3 situations that we have to talk about. So it's the situation where partner opens a diamond, we bid a heart, partner bids 1 spade, and we bid 2 clubs. This looks a lot like 4th suit forcing, but we have to remember that this is not game forcing. This is the XYZ, and it's a relay to 2 diamonds, unless partner is very strong. and we usually have an invitational hand. The other situation is 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 heart, 1 spade is now a natural bid, because if we are strong, we will go through XYZ. So 1 spade shows spades. And the same with the situation of 1 club, 1 diamond, 1 spade, 2 hearts. That's also a natural bid and a weak hand, because if we are stronger, we will go through XYZ. So, very important to remember that these situations, the 4th suit forcing is not applied. The neat thing is with 1 club, 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, both will look like a game forcing bid, at least if you play 4th suit forcing as game force, because they are gonna be game forcing both with 4th suit forcing and with XYZ. So if you mix them up, it's not a problem. But in the 3 other situations, you have to be a bit careful. Sometimes our opponents are maybe not so nice to us and they overcall and make things much more complicated. Well, we need to have clear agreements on what to do after overcalls. There are several options, and you have to discuss this with your partner. One of the options is that XYZ or 2-way new minor forcing is still on if opponents have bid once, but it is off if they have bid twice or 1 person has doubled and 1 person has bid. So if the opponent has done anything other than a pass more than 1 time, this is off. We don't play it anymore. Then we have to bid a Q-bid to make a forcing bid. Some people, however, decide that just if they have bid, it's completely off. That's also an option. You have to agree on this. And then with doubles, it's common to play that it's still on if opponents have doubled once, but it's off if they've doubled twice, or if 1 has doubled and 1 has bid. The only thing is that if the double was after the last bid, it's also off. So for example, I open a club, they pass, my partner bids a heart, they pass, I bid 1 no trump, and they double. Now the double was after the last bid, and it's more important for us to be able to escape into 2 minor, so it's off. If we have a strong hand, we can just redouble instead. So if the double was after the last bid, it's off. Again, this is something you can agree on with your partner. Overcalls does make it a little bit more complicated, but it's not so terrible, especially if you have clear agreements, which is important. There is one situation that you can discuss with your partner, and that is, can pass be a bid? So, for example, I open a diamond, they pass, my partner bids a heart, and they bid a spade. If I pass, this is usually an 11 to 14 hand, but I don't particularly want to bid 1 no. 1 no would show a good spade stopper, so maybe I don't have that. But I still have the opening hand, so does that mean that XYZ and 2-way new minor forcing is still on? Well, I play it that way, but you don't have to. Again, something you have to agree on with your partner. So, just to summarize all of this, the reason we play XYZ and 2-way new minor forcing is because it's easier to both make an invite and a game forcing bid. It's also easier to find a 5-3 fit in the majors, and there's more room to find out if we want to play a minor suit contract or if we want to play no trump. And all of this also adds up into the fact that it's easier to bid a slam. And XYZ has priority over 4th suit forcing in all the 4 situations where it's applied. But here is something very important. It is completely possible to play 2-way new minor forcing, but not XYZ. And I would also agree, or I would also say that it's more important to play two-way new minor forcing because we don't have the fourth suit forcing bid. It might also be easier to remember because we don't have to mix it up with the fourth suit forcing. And if we know about support, we have 3 different ways of bidding, where the longer we take, the stronger we are. If we don't know about support, but we figure it out eventually, we have usually 2 ways of bidding, where again, the longer we take, the stronger we are. And two-way new minor forcing and XYZ might still be on if opponents have bid once, but not if they have bid more. All of this is, as I have been saying a million times now, something you have to agree on with your partner. It's a bit of a complicated way of bidding, but still something that's important, and it can help you quite a lot. So agree with your partner if you want to play this or not. So something we have to look at before we start playing the boards for this tournament is that we have to make sure our robots are playing the same system as we are. This doesn't really work if our robots are not playing the system, but we can make sure that they are. So what we do is we go into Funbridge. Here I am on the home page, and we press the settings button. And then we go over here where it says bidding conventions, and we choose to press view/edit. And then my Funbridge is unfortunately halfway in English and half in Norwegian, but I hope you can bear with me. We will now go to the third option here. This says convention for 2-player bids. We press it, and the top one here is the one we want to go into. So we press edit, and we choose the one that says standard 2-way checkback. So it's the second to last option. We press that one, and then we just go out of here, and we have the correct bids for the tournament. Because it's gonna be very difficult to play with the robots if the robot does not play the system we would like them to play. So I hope to see all of you in the tournament, and thank you for listening.